So this is just another trade taken from my weekly newsletter and trade planning system. So we had a long entry over here at 93.10. This is the Aussie dollar, and my plan was to buy this above 93.10. I'll just confirm that with the actual letter that was sent out, so you can see exactly what my plan was. I'm just going to scroll down to the actual trade. So here we are, the Aussie dollar. So this is the Aussie dollar, and I had a plan on the Aussie dollar to buy this above 93.10 with a profit target of 93.50. The initial stop at the time the trade was planned was at 92.74, and if the Aussie weakened off and started to come down, then I anticipated shorting it at 92 level, that handle, and expecting profit target to be at 91.60. That was my trade plan. As you can see in the dashboard, I have long entry 93.10, the stop is 92.74, the profit target is 93.50, and the same on the short entry, selling at 92. The stop is going to be a technical stop at the last swing, and profit target if the short entry is triggered at 91.60. So here we have the trade here. So I got in on the pullback. So we had our initial trade entry right there, and we had a retracement. I got in on the retracement and bought it right there. As you can see, I'm long. So the trade is a little bit in motion, and as you can see that it's sort of trended nicely, and it's now pretty close to the profit target. I don't have the order in there at the moment, but I will sort of close that or put the order in, but I've just been monitoring the trade. So I'm expecting this to go up to the 93.50, and what we have been having here is again, there was some good fundamentals behind this trade. The Australian confidence was quite good for the Australian economy, the business confidence, and at the same time the US had a little bit of negative news coming out, which is sparked a bit of fears about perhaps a slowing in tapering. So that's kind of what's been fueling some Australian strength and some US weakness. On top of that, we did have some good Chinese manufacturing figures as well come out yesterday. So we have some strength in the Australian, and we also have some weakness in the dollar. The dollar is actually been weak today. It's been selling off. So that's why my trade's triggered at 93.10. I bought it and still with the position, expecting this to hit my profit target at 93.50. All that's what's happening right now is we're just having a little bit of a retracement just before the 93.50 level, and on the next swing we should get that profit target broken. So I'm just going to put in the limit order there. So I've just put the limit in. So now you see I've got the limit order in. So as soon as the price gets up to this level, it should automatically close the trade for me. One of the things we do here at MTA is to show you how to first of all get the direction right. Initially, we have to understand what's fundamentally driving the trade. First of all, identify the setup, the good setup that's likely to result in a profitable trade, a high strong probability that it's going to be a profitable trade. Then the next thing is to go into the market at that predefined time. In this case it was a 93.10. I was just a little bit late coming in, but I didn't chase the trade. I didn't jump in at the highs here. I waited for the market to come back a little bit, and when I had the confirmation that this trade was going again, I then bought the Aussie dollar, and we are in a nice position now. The market's moved nicely. We had some more consolidation, but that trend resumed, and we are now pretty much close to our profit target, which is off some 9 pips from the profit target. So it's all about identifying what is the high probability setups, knowing where to get in. So this is what we're doing, knowing where to get in, and also knowing where to set your stop. In this case, my stop, I have identified a technical area to put my stop. You see where this red line is, which is identifying my stop. It's in a technical area. This is where the market had retraced, and we had some strong buying come in, and this buying overwhelmed that selling pressure, preventing the prices from going any lower. And at that point I decided to buy. That was the time for me to buy, and at the same time confirming this is a very good place to put my stop. The market told me that. We identify this and we show you how to identify that. This is what we call at MTA the golden triangle. If I can get the colors right. This is our golden triangle. Identifying the entry, the stop, which essentially is going to be where we will exit if the market turns around and does not go in our favor, and the profit. That is the MTA golden triangle, and this is, you see that in action here: the entry, the stop, and the profit target. Okay, we teach you how to do this precisely to obtain this type of result when you're trading. So we'll just keep an eye on this to see that it goes to the profit target, and yeah, that should be a decent trade. Okay, so we're just pushing towards the target. It's just market's just a little bit slow, as the US stock market is coming online shortly. But everything is all good about this trade. There's no reason for me to intervene here or do anything. It should go higher and even penetrate the 93.50. It's a good level to take profit, which is where I've put my my root order in already, and this is just a little bit of consolidation before it makes its next move upwards. And that type of consolidation which you see there, that basically shows me is that once it makes its next move on, consolidating here so close to this profit target, it means that it should break through there quite easily and perhaps continue on. So assessing this trade currently as is, there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to adjust. It's basically to just sit there and just wait for this to continue to rise, and basically close the trade for profit. So we're still looking good, just around about 4 pips or so from target. And from my entry, this will probably be around about 30 pips of profit on this trade, because I got in somewhere around the 93.20 area, but that's fine. I mean, 30 pips is fantastic. It's above my target, so that's great, perfectly okay. So this is just new bar has come out, and it just comes off a little bit for turning around and going higher. I'm just trying to walk you through the stages of this trade. I want you to see the trade closed at the profit target. It's a live trade, and yeah, we'll monitor this and see when it's about to close. Okay, so we're still in the trade. It's still sitting just below the profit target. It's still nothing wrong with this trade. We're going to hold on to this and just let it do its thing, basically. Whilst that trade is on, I'll just show you another trade I'm in also at the same time. This is a trade that I had taken sort of the back end of last week, and this is a trade that if you were in the mentoring room, you saw me talk about this trade. It's short in the Euro Aussie on that structural failure, that break of the structure, and I shorted it basically on the break of that major support level. 148.42 was the price I got in at, as you'll see. I shorted it at 148.42. And what's interesting here, when it broke that level, look at the momentum to downside. We had this massive sell-off as all of those orders were triggered. Those of you that have heard me speak about going fishing for the stops, and this is how we do this. And again, the market retraces. And what's interesting, when we talk about when something is support, and once that support has been broken, it comes back to be resistance. And that's what you see here. That is the same point, and it came back, tested it for resistance, and again it made another strong move to the downside. It's just consolidating here at the moment and should technically resolve itself to the downside, but there is a slight chance of a reversal. So what I've simply done, this is a trade that has great potential, huge potential to be a big mover. So I don't want to close this trade, and I haven't put in particularly a longer term profit target. This trade was not basically taken from the newsletter so much. I'm going to bring over another chart to show you how this trade was actually done. So I'm going to compress the data for you, and so this was the short entry, 148.40. okay, so that was the entry. My plan was to add to the position when it broke this level here, which was the 147.70 level. Once it broke down the 147.70, and as you can see, I did add to the position. Right there I went short. It came into profit a little bit, but then it turned around and we had this move. Fortunately, I did get out when this high was broken. Once we had that momentum and it started to break this high, I closed the position and I had a 30 pip loss. The original trade is still currently up 71 pips, and my stop is below my entry by 42 pips. So whatever happens, worst case scenario on this trade, I will still walk away with 42 pips of profit, which is still a profitable trade. And as you can see, the Aussie dollar is also going quite nicely. So ideally I would like this to continue to make a new low, and basically this is the low that we need to have broken. This low over here is the one that needs to be broken down, and once that low is broken, then we will see a very strong sell-off. But at the same time, I can accept that over here I do have a failure, or a potential for a failure, to make a new low. So where is the confirmation of this failure? Is going to be pretty much this area over here would be a real confirmation that this is not going to follow through, but that area there is going to take me right back to my entry, and if I consider this 30 pip loss here, then trade will result into a complete loss. So I don't want to let it go back there to confirm that, or to even come up this area and fail. So basically what I've done is I've just taken all the risk out of the trade, added some profit, taking in consideration the 30 pip loss there. I've got 42 pips locked in, giving this a chance, turn around and go down and make new lows, and put me in a nice profit. Otherwise, if it comes back and stops me out, I still have a smaller profit. Now, where is my profit target for this trade? Well, considering that the euro continues to weaken against the Australian, on the bigger scale, I'm expecting, and as you can see I have a limit order in already, all the way down here at the 140.47 level, okay, because that's where the next major support level is. If I just change the time frame here for you, I've just got to keep an eye on the Aussie. I don't want it to close without us having a look. This was the main reason for the trade, which I did short at this level last week and the week before, which I showed you, and the videos are online, and I made over 130 pips on this move to the downside already. So these are just like second and third trades going into where I am at the moment. So quite quids in on this pair. But this is the next major level right here, and this is an interesting level, this level here, because at some point at that price some major buying came in, which caused that price to move up in a strong upward momentum move, and just want to have a quick look at the Aussie trade. Okay, so we're still okay. It is still pushing, hasn't closed the trade just yet, but it's starting to gather some momentum. So I just want to keep an eye on that whilst I just make this other point. So, point I was making is that some strong buying came in, pushed this market up, and it made these highs. So around about this point, there were some extensive strong buying. So we know that that was the support, and that's the point where strong demand came in. So now that this market has broken this level here, because at this point we also had the similar level of buying coming in, supporting the price over here at this point. That similar level of buying coming in. Okay, it prevented this move to the downside. It prevented it from coming down and pushing the prices back up. Okay, so this is an interesting level when you see this price broken, and why this happens in relation to this point here. So this move to the downside should continue to come down, potentially all the way to this level here. That's why I have that as my limit order. Now I'm not expecting this overnight. This could be over 2, 3, 4 weeks even before we get down to this point. But so long as the euro is weak and having worrying fundamental news coming out about the eurozone, this move should continue in this direction. So let's go back to the trade we were monitoring, which is the Aussie dollar. As you can see, we are now starting to gather some momentum, and once we break these highs here, we should actually get to the target fairly rapidly, and take profit on that trade. So you see I've got a few things going on, a few trades going on. Not all of them had been successful trades, but nevertheless overall they are all profitable. And as soon as just some more momentum needed to push that above. I mean, it's about to make some new highs for the day, so it's still quite a significant price point to make a new highs for the day. And we've got the dollar is weak right across the board. It's weak across every single currency at the moment, and the Australian is around the second sort of strongest currency. The yen is very strong today, but we're pushing closer to now the profit target, just some 2 or 3 pips off from closing that trade. It's fairly comfortable trade. It didn't really test the stop in any shape or form. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that as it gets closer to the target. Okay, so we're getting closer. It wants to break. Keep in mind that this is a session high as well as the high of the day, so it is currently the resistance area, and we should have a nice break to the target. So we're just a couple of pips away. And again, you don't have to be a perfectionist like me. There's absolutely nothing wrong in me just closing this trade right now and taking the profits. What you should never do is get within 1 or 2 pips of your target, only to let it come all the way back like this. So that I won't be doing. I want to see that this continues, and I'll give it some time and some room. What I won't do is let it come all the way back here and stop me out. The only way that could happen now is if something fundamentally that took the market by surprise and this thing was just a spike down like this. So long as that doesn't happen, then this will not allow this to be a losing trade. So either way, it's going to be a profitable trade. And even what I could do is this area here. Again, it's another area where the market has showed me that it's come down, it's respected this price point for whatever reason it is, but some demand came in for the Aussie against the dollar, and some buying came in which pushed prices higher. So at that point, and it's above my entry, I could sort of just raise my stop like this, and no, I can't do it that way. Yes, here we go. So that price point is around about 93.20. There, so right, so I'm going to make it 93.22. So basically what I'm just doing is removing all of the risk from the trade. It's one of these things you can do. So at least it won't, whereas my stop was below here, somewhere around about the 93.10 level, with some risk still in the trade, I'm very close to the actual profit target, so there's no need to have any risk in this trade at that point. So I just simply remove the risk from the trade. So my best case scenario is I get my target, take my profit, or I close it somewhere along here. Worst case scenario is I take a very small profit if it was to come all the way back, but like I said, I'm not going to allow it to do that. So either way, this should be or will be rather a profitable trade. But it is 2:30 in the afternoon, so the market's just taking a little bit of a breather, but it should still push higher. Again, we'll just keep an eye on the trade and report back. Okay, unfortunately I had to pop out, and I've come back, but you can see it did hit the target right there, and it's gone through, like I said earlier in the video, that the price is expected to break through my target level, which it has done, and as you can see, it's basically went all the way up to 93.61. So basically, I did say I was going to get about 30 pips out of the trade. We got 29, so that's basically job done, and that was a nice trade, a comfortable trade. I wasn't concerned with any of the pullbacks that it made. I did, as you saw, take the risk out of the trade, and we got where we planned to go, And this guys, is what you see over here, the golden triangle. This is how it's done. You have your entry, the stop, which was below this support level, and the profit target, all predefined. And as you see on the trade plan, we had the entry 93.10, we had our stop, and we had a profit target of 93.50, and this is where it was. Okay, there was the stop, which was at 92.74, and once the price breaks above our entry here, so the price broke above, and there was our profit target 93.50. And this is the trade. There's the entry, the stop was below this level here, and there you go, profit target achieved. Okay, so that was another trade which was planned from our newsletter, which worked out perfectly okay.